Hey guys, it's Bria Nicole here, and today I will be showing you how I camouflage my big forehead slash curly hair routine. You're gonna need a comb, you're gonna need some clips, you're gonna need lots of needles, and lastly, you're gonna need some thread. Okay, let's get into it. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. As you guys can see, I'm using my argan oil and Moroccan oil healing dry. I'm going to spray that on each of my braids. My hair is actually, I let it air dry. So as you see, it looks very short. But I parted half the back of my head, and I'm just going to braid each braid down, straight down in the back. As you can see here, when you're braiding, make sure that you braid your braid down. If not completely, majority of the way down, because you don't want to snatch and pull on your hair. And my hair is, pretty halfway dry, but at the same time, I sprayed the oil on it, so it was pretty easy for me to part it. Okay, y'all, so I did a few braids in the back already, but I am going to go ahead and show you how I connect my braids. I didn't do a lot of braids back here because it was still laying flat, and I'm not going to have this in for long, probably about 7 days. So as you guys can see, I'm braiding straight down, and in just a second, you're going to see me how I connect my braid. Everybody does it differently. You can braid it in a circle pattern. But me personally, I feel like braiding straight down always gives you a flat base. So when I get to the bottom, I just connect my braid, kind of like a straight line going across. And then I continue to braid down after it's been connected. Which one of these hoes I wanna fuck with? Young nigga shit right around with a pole might be in the club. Okay, y'all. So please don't forget to oil, okay? It doesn't have to be extremely greasy, but when your hair is in braids and it's being sewn up, it can get dry. So just make sure that you are definitely keeping your hair moisturized, because that is, of course, how it'll break off. And of course, if your hair is a little on the thicker side, like extremely thick, of course you will do your braids smaller because it can create a lump. As I'm getting towards the end, I'm kind of bringing my braid up. I'm not dragging it across anymore because I just felt like that was what was convenient for me at the time to help me connect the braid at a faster, pace, I guess I can say. I think it's funny, all of mama think I'm fucking and I'm staying. I think it's funny, I want fucking hoes for free, but niggas pay. I think it's funny, how you niggas broke, but it's a million ways. Where's my mama, I go get it. I'ma stay counters, ain't no limit. I feel like Master P, ain't no one passing me, bitch. I'm a king like young nigga, your majesty. Flyer than Dragon P. And none of these niggas no match with me. Your bitch rolling was in the back of me. Ain't talking to niggas, no chat with me. If I were you, I would thread a couple needles before I start, so that way your process can go a little quicker. So here I am now about to sew my braid down. I'm not going to sew my hair extremely tight because, like I said, I'm not even going to have it in for long. So my hair is going to be kind of loose because that's just not what I'm looking for, a tight foundation. I'm going to take it out. So I made sure my last braid was moisturized there, and I'm going to go ahead and start sewing. On my thought, I be living HD, no flaws in my rocks. Send my new whip on the boat, please whip it off the dock. Bring these spirits my Glock, make this bitch go pop. Okay, y'all, so here is the finished product. The braids are definitely not perfect, but they look good enough to me. So here's my track, okay? So I'm doubling my wefts. I'm not sewing them on separately. I'm doubling them. So here I am just showing you how to bend. Okay, like that. So I'm going to sew that just like that. It takes me way longer when I just do one track at a time. So we're going to go ahead, get our needle,
and we're gonna get right into it. Grab your weft, like I said, as it's doubled, and go ahead and just stick your needle all the way at the bottom. As you can see, I made my thread way long, but I like it like that. I'm gonna have a little struggle here, but I like it like that because it lasts longer. So I always keep my hand on the back of my head while I'm sewing just to make sure that it's laying flat, because the last thing you need is lumps, because it is possible when you're doubling your wefts to have a lumpy back. So I go ahead and I hold it while I'm doing it just to make sure that everything is going on smoothly. Here's the part where I flip it, you guys. A lot of people have struggles with flipping it. When you flip it, make sure you're holding it again. And also what I do is I take my two tracks, and if this makes sense, I don't stack them on top of each other. If you look closely, I don't have them sitting directly on top of each other. One is kind of sitting higher than the other. That's how you keep that part right there flat, okay? So, and don't fret, this is curly hair. So if you don't get it the first time, it's fine. The more hair you stack on there, you're not really going to see any flaws, especially because you have all that leave out. So, y'all, this is like one full bundle in the back of my head. It's nice and flat, as you can see. I didn't get all the way up there for a reason. And that's because, like I said, I have so much leave out. So what I want you to do is part your hair where I'm showing you, okay? Because now we're going to go ahead and do a braid, a single braid, just to sew a track right there instead of having a bunch of braids, if this makes sense. So I'm going to show you in a second. You're going to have hair covering what you just sewed, and then you're going to have a French braid over it. So that's what you just sewed. That's covering that up. That's if you want to do it up and down. And this is going to be a braid. Okay? So after I moisturize that section, I'm going to go ahead and just start my French braid. It's actually very hard to show you guys my whole head while braiding, while making sure you can still see. But also, guys, make sure that you leave out, you know, those edges right there. Well, I'm pretty sure you have if you're watching this video and you're following my steps, because that's going to be very important when you want to put your hair behind your ear. So I'm just going along. I'm braiding it. And like I said, I'm going to sew that same braid on top of itself and then sew a track on there. So now that you've braided that braid up, we're going to go ahead and sew it like so. Sew it just going right across. Now it's time for us to go in and sew the track. I did double it once again, so it can keep and maintain that same fullness. So here I am. I'm going to go ahead and just zoom in for y'all so y'all can see a little bit better.
Celine on my thought. I be living HD, no flaws in my rocks. Send my new whip on the boat, please whip it off the dock. Bring these spirits my Glock. Make this bitch go pop. High five, we with the plug. Tip on that net, that bitch with a bug. These niggas be funny, I'm calling them dud. The bud was wet, let the it dry in the tub. Hit me in traffic, and I got it on me. Bitch, I be trafficking, yeah, I be trafficking. White girl with the ass of an African. Her daddy rich and her mouth is immaculate. I put you stick in the Stone Island. I hit your bitch off a Long Island. Pring on my chips, more pollen. Get to the check like some phone posit. My shoebox the bank, I'm making deposit. Welcome to Europe, you step in my closet. Foreign cars, you should see my garages. Two bras, finna have a menage. I can pick which one of these hoes I wanna fuck with. Young nigga shit, ride around with a pole, might be in the club. That designer bag is on me and it hold a dub. And I remember they ain't want me, now I'm up.
So I did the same thing with my side. I basically sewed in some hair on my side. You guys will see that in a second. And then I started to use glue because at the top of my head, you know, I figured I might as well go ahead and just use glue. So I sewed that side in already. Now you're going to grab your glue. I use 30-second super bonding glue, and I parted a section off where I'm going to lay my track. Okay, so that's where my track is going to be. I'm going to lay my track slightly behind my leave out, my front, just in case I want to pull my hair back a little bit and put a headband on. Never put your track super close to your hairline because you'll either be able to see it or you won't be able to wear it a little versatile.
Think it's funny, all of mama think I'm fucking and I'm staying. I think it's funny, I want fucking hoes for free, but niggas pay. I think it's funny, how you niggas broke, but it's a million ways. Words on my mama, I go get it. I'ma stay commas, ain't no limit. I feel like Master P, ain't no one passing me. Bitch, I'm a king like young nigga, your majesty. Flyer than Dragon P. And none of these niggas no match with me. Your bitch rolling was in the back of me. Ain't talking to niggas, no chat with me. I put you stick in the Stone Island. I hit your bitch off a Long Island.
I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side, y'all. I'm going to part a little section for me to leave out. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull some hair down and glue a few tracks in right there.
I can pick which one of these hoes I wanna fuck with. Young nigga shit, ride around with a pole, might be in the club. That designer bag is on me and it hold a dub. And I remember they ain't want me, now I'm up and fuck. Routine with my walk, Celine on my thought. I be living HD, no flaws in my rocks. Send my new whip on the boat, please whip it off the dock. Bring these spirits my Glock, make this bitch go pop. High five, me with the plug. Tip on that net, that bitch with a bug. These niggas be funny, I'm calling them dud. The bug was wet, let it dry in the tub. Hit me in traffic, and I got it on me. Bitch, I be trafficking, yeah, I be trafficking. White girl with the ass of an African. Her daddy rich and her mouth is immaculate. I put you stick in the Stone Island. I hit your bitch off a Long Island. Pring on my chips, more pollen. Get to the check like some phone posit. My shoebox the bank, I'm making deposit. Welcome to Europe, you step in my closet. Foreign cars, you should see my.
And this goes the same way, y'all, if you want to do a middle part. Me personally, I always wear my hair going to the right. So that's basically where my hair is going. I already had it pre-parted out because I knew that I wasn't going to wear a middle. If anything, I'm going to wear a deep side part or I'm going to wear like an off-center part. Not an exact middle part, not with this hair. When I remembered that I had to wet my hair, y'all, I went in with my Got To Be Free spray and I sprayed some of it on my tracks that I had glued because I figured, you know, that'll make it a little more stuck in place. Where if I wet it, my tracks just won't slide out. So right there, you can kind of see my track right there. So I fixed that later. But this track is a glued track. You see how I can wear like in part there? Okay, so I can do a deep part. And then I can even do a part closer to the middle of my head. That's why I left out so much hair at the top. But we're going to go ahead and rock it like that because I love deep side parts to cover up that forehead. Okay, my hair is full enough. I like the way that it looks. So I'm about to just section it off and basically just start moisturizing everything up. I'm about to show you all what I use to do my curly routine. Since my hair is dry, it's going to be a little harder. I should have, you know, kind of practice that first, but this is how it looks. It looks crazy, but yes, let's get started. So we're going to use Eco Styling Gel. We're going to use Argan Oil Mousse, any mousse or gel of your choice, your favorite. It doesn't matter what brand. And my favorite, Eben Extra Hold Edge Control. And of course, again, my free spray. And I'm going to use a little bit of this hair milk. just for the smell. It smells great. If you want to use a spray bottle first to wet your hair down, I would say go for it. But I was too lazy to get up, so I just used what I had. So I started with the hair milk, and then I went in with the mousse. I put it in my hand, and I just kind of rubbed it in my hair. I started on one section, which was the part that I was wearing my bang on. I would probably suggest a wide tooth comb, but this is the comb that I had on hand at the second. So I'm going to go ahead and just comb my hair in with that mousse. You'll see me doing that in a second. I didn't even spray enough mousse on there, but this is just kind of the concept to get the curls flowing. And saturated my hair with Eco Gel. And as you can see, I did miss a few spots. So I'm just basically going in with that gel and kind of curling up those spots. I'm going to actually twist up my hair after I finish this style so it can look more defined in the morning. But for now, that's just what I'm doing with that. I'm going to go ahead and just saturate every single piece of my hair. Also, don't forget the ends of your hair. I had kind of forgot the ends of my Cambodian, so I just went in and kind of wetted and brushed it all together so that it could flow nicely. Doing this style, guys, you're going to use a lot of products, so make sure you have enough. I preferably wanted my hair to look a little on the kinky side. I didn't just want it to look like, you know, just all nice and uniform. I wanted it to kind of look, you know, a little wild. I feel like Master P, ain't no one passing me, bitch. I'm a king like that nigga, your majesty. Fired and Dragon P, and none of these niggas no match with me. Your bitch rolling was in the back of me, ain't talking to niggas, no chat with me. I put the stick in the stone island, I hit your bitch off a long island. Left my diffuser at the shop, so I'm just kind of crumping up my curls like that. That will definitely help define your curls if you do that, or if you have a diffuser, that's even better. But you can still get that same look if you take your hands and kind of mash it together. As you can see, it's starting to come together compared to how I looked in the beginning. So I'm just going to constantly repeat these steps, maybe about 3 times. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you all the finished results. So guys, this is the finished look after I let it dry. I love it. I did get makeup on my hair, so that's why you see like a little hair color. But I hope you liked my video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.